Normally, I'll just introduce you, but it's been a while since we've chatted, and I want you to introduce yourself because not everybody knows what you're working on. You've had some other projects in the past. It's been a long time since you and I have connected. I'm looking forward to this conversation. I love technology and AI, although a lot of people, when they hear AI, they start to get, I think, a bit squeamish or maybe goosebumps. I'm not
Yeah.
really sure. It's an interesting time for technology in the future. So I'm curious to hear where your mind takes you when you think about the possibilities for humanity in this day and age, but also where you've come from. Like what are we going to be talking about today, and where are you, and who are you?
Yeah, sure. Who am I is not what I do or what I've created. So I can tell you that I'm a person that believes in freedom, fun, putting love first. And in everything that I do, I hope on the business side, that's how I lead in the world and lead by example. Um, what I've done is, I've started my career in recruitment, built a proprietary recruitment process back in the 2008 recession, licensed the proprietary recruitment process to my largest competitor, and then fell into tech with my first tech company called People. That, of course, was quite the journey. It went global, it went viral. It was a reputation API for the share economy. Um, and that had kind of put me on the map for tech. And ever since, I've been consulting to tech companies, to startups, helping them with their marketing, advertising, recruiting, sales, design, kind of being as their co-pilot. And where I'm at today is I've built now my third tech company. The first one being People, the second one being Prodigy. Prodigy is an online learning and mentorship platform for kids. Think like the TikTok of education for kids. And then I'm in this new phase of AI, and I have so much to say about that. And I think we should definitely explore what that means. But, that's who I am and what I've been doing, and, happy to just explore that more.
Awesome. So I've seen a little bit of build up to this AI project that you've been working on, and that's exciting. And I think everybody must have heard about Chat GPT by now or know somebody who's been playing around with it. So it's been making
Yeah.
waves as to what is AI. And, I'm curious where people want to take it from a business standpoint, but also from a governance standpoint, and if there's limitations and what it means. And so when you're talking about AI with people, what's the reaction? Is it just complete excitement, or is there some trepidation? And where do you meet people? Where's the general understanding as
Yeah.
soon as you mention AI?
There's like this new revolution, right? So you did mention ChatGPT. It was like the most well-known AI model out there, made by OpenAI. Um, and there's so much controversy because people feel threatened by AI, and frankly, they should, but not in the way that you think. So AI, in my opinion, and please, this is just my opinion, I'm sure everyone has an opinion. AI can be used for good. AI can do all the mundane tasks and things that humans really shouldn't be doing because computers can do it better. Us as humans, we're creators. We are meant to create, we're not meant to do. And if computers can do it better than us, if they're smarter than us, faster than us, more precise than us, let's give up all those tasks to AI and to the computers. On the flip side of that, if you're going to be a creator, as you should be, and you're going to use AI as a tool, you want to start thinking about what are the best ways to utilize your creative brain as a human and AI as its hyper intelligence. And when you combine those two, what beautiful things can you create? And that's what led me down this path. When Google Gemini was announced to the world on roughly December 7th, December 6th, maybe in North America time, Google said, hey, we built this thing. It's AI. It's more advanced than ChatGPT. It's the most advanced AI brain on the planet. And we want to do really cool things with it. And that was an amazing moment in time because Google Gemini had far exceeded what we had seen possible in AI. Google Gemini, if you haven't heard of it or if you haven't explored it, is multimodal, which means it can do more than just answer questions. It can solve problems. It can read images. It can communicate in different languages. It has different modalities to help you as a human succeed. And that caught me off guard and caused such a inspiration in my mind and in my heart that I lost sleep for days after discovering Google Gemini. And all I knew was on December 7th in Australia, Google Gemini would change the world. And by December 13th, North America timing, Google Gemini would be available to developers like myself. And that was the beginning of the rest.
Wow. So what possibilities, and actually maybe let's lay the groundwork for some people. So when you're talking about different modals, it's like the how do you describe that? AI is built upon these what's the word? Models. So like, you
Yes,
can only
yes,
do
that's
so
trained
much,
by.
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
right, exactly. So people might have also heard from OpenAI. They also have the I don't know why my mind's drawing this blank. The one that
Dolly,
creates,
Dolly,
yeah, Dolly. That's it,
Dolly.
right? So
Yeah,
it can create images, but that's a separate function than
it
the Chat
is.
GPT. So
It
you're talking
is.
about Google Gemini putting these together. So it's like one interface
Yeah,
that can actually do multiple things and interact with different parts of its
yeah.
brain, essentially.
Yeah, like let's talk about an example, okay? And like we'll definitely link to your video, like Google's demonstration of Gemini,
Yeah.
um, because I think that's a lot of fun. So let me give you an example. It's a really fun example. They showed Gemini a picture of a duck, and they're like, "What is this?" And Gemini was like, "It's a duck, and it's this type of duck because it's this color." And then they took the duck and put it on a path of two forks in the road. On one of the forks was an angry bear, and on the other fork was like a friendly female duck friend. And they asked Gemini, which way should the duck go? And Gemini said, go towards your friend because the other one does not look friendly and might harm you. Something like that. So if you can actually interact with Gemini from photos on a piece of paper, from drawings and chicken scratch, and ask it to do your homework, and ask it to solve a really complex problem, or ask it to read an image, these are just some of the small examples that Gemini can do. And I am in absolute awe of the potential of humans interacting with Gemini to the highest level, and what could we co-create together. And that's the place I started from. What if? What is the craziest, biggest, most outrageous thing that I could do with Gemini as one of the first early adopters as a developer?
That's I'm excited to hear where you go with it, like what your vision is around
Yeah.
this. I think this is an amazing opportunity, and the conversation that we get to have at this time and place for humanity, and to bring everybody along on the ride, because there could be some dangers. When I started having early conversations with AI, one thing that became very clear was my dad's first question to it was, "Are you sentient?" And it was explaining why it's not. But the possibility of where it can go, the AI fed back to us that we need to be part of the creation of AI. So we hold each
Yes.
other accountable. We can't just let it go do its thing, and we can't just go do our thing, but we're going to see greater rewards if we work with AI. And I think that's where we're at as humanity. So for Google to open the door to developers like yourself to come up with your own ideas to see where you want to take it, what's your vision? What came to you that had friends and family in tears?
Like, I still get emotional. The night I found out about Google Gemini, I didn't sleep. And I didn't sleep because I asked myself a really tough question. I said, you're in this phase of your life called the mastery phase. This is the phase where you take your skills and you make money and do really cool things. But you need to jump to your legacy phase. And how are you going to jump to your legacy phase? So it was initially a bit selfish. I wanted to create my legacy phase of my life. And I was done playing small. And I was done building tech for money. And I decided that there could be so much more. And so I sat with Google Gemini as a conduit to help me create my legacy phase in my life. The phase where I'm going to give back to the world and do something greater than the collective whole of myself or anyone else. And the idea came through really, really fast. I want you to think of it as a download, as a channel. I am not the creator of my new company. It is the collective consciousness that creates through anyone, through all of us. And I'm just a conduit. Google Gemini is just a conduit. And I decided what is the greatest impact I can do. And that involved giving money away, but with purpose. And I kept asking myself, like, you're just one person. How are you going to make the biggest impact you can? And the answer to that was, I don't have to be just one person. I can be everyone together all at once, everywhere. And so the concept came from affecting as many people as possible with $1. Now, keep this thought. My computer is about to die, so I'm going to have to plug it in.
I actually wanted to ask you about philanthropy then. So it's like people aren't just filled with greed in this world. It's not all about business and making money. And I mean, where's the end of that, right? Where do we go as a humanity? What's the future for all of us if we're just trying to consume and always create more and more, and to what end? So if there's a possibility that anybody's going to do anything good in this world, that's what our audience and Not TV has been talking about for quite some time, that there's good people out there doing good projects and good things. And I'd love to hear more from you about this.
Yeah, sure. So if I'm fully committed to the legacy phase and I'm fully committed to being one person that brings together the collective to do good in the world and empower others to do good using I was like, what's the biggest, boldest opportunity? And, the idea came through originally, and I made it better and better. So it was the combination of inspiration, AI, and my heart and mind. Um, and the concept is quite simple. And so to demonstrate the concept, I think the best way to do it is you and I are going to play a game. Okay? So I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to be really open and honest with me.
Okay.
And it'll be a lot of fun. So I want to ask you, Travis Cross, do you think that you can change the world with $1?
I would like to believe so.
That's great. I like the optimism. And I want you to commit to or think about one charity or cause that you would like to give back to, and I want you to say the name of it out loud.
If I get the name right, Brown brown bagging for kids, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, 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 I've heard of it. That's wonderful. And why did you choose that one, Travis?
Because food's important, and to make sure kids have food, then they
Yeah,
can learn and grow. And I mean, that's a starting
yeah,
point.
yeah. We all deserve to thrive in any circumstance. So that's wonderful. And now, Travis, I want you. This is a very important part. I want you to pick one person. This can be you or someone else, anyone. And I want you to say their name out loud, whether it's yourself or someone else.
Arlene Orchard.
Okay, wonderful. And why did you choose that person?
Because she's a huge influence on the kids that she teaches. She's a musical theater teacher in Calgary and just an amazing human being.
Love that. Love that. And so now I want you to think about the fact that I'm about to give you access to Google Gemini through my company called AskGem. And Gem is my AI. And she's going to allow you to ask her one question for $1. So I want you to think about what that question is and go ahead and ask Gem that question.
The first question that comes to mind is, how do we change the world with $1?
You know, it's so amazing. That is the most common question that I'm getting. And it's actually men that are asking that question. And I find that so fascinating and I wonder what that's about. And I love it. That's a great question. So let's pretend I've collected $1 from you through
Mm-hmm.
Gem, through my website. And then let's also pretend that she answered your question. Now, Travis, here is the twist of fate. At the end of 30 days, one charity will get 25% of the entire pot of money, and one person will get 25% of the entire pot of money, chosen live on social media by Gem completely randomly. Welcome to AskGem.ai.
Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that.
So that's it. You are
Yeah.
now a part of a collective group of people that want to bring charity out into the open,
Hmm.
that want to help an individual or themselves, that want to learn from AI, and most importantly, understand the importance of going together in it.
Hmm.
You are now part of something bigger and more important than even just AI, even just charity, even just ourselves, even just learning. You have now created something of value with your $1.
That's really beautiful. It's even better than lottery. Lottery is like, well, what can I get? What can I get? But to think of others and the idea of charity, and I mean, $1 really isn't that much. And sometimes we think and talk about, well, if only everybody contributed $1, what could we do? Or whether it's a new political party or some
Totally.
project. But to think in terms of charity, like to really make a difference, and even pick charities that are doing something really beneficial. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful
And
thought.
so Travis, we are the first AI gaming charity platform in the world.
Well, that's
We
incredible.
started a new category of tech that didn't exist until yesterday. We created history on January 1st, 2024.
That's amazing. And where can this go? Like what will be the result? Can we even fathom right now how this might actually change things, where money can be distributed to these charities in this way?
You know, I have no ego on where this goes. I just know that it's going to be really, really big. And I know that the right cooperative components will come together to make it really, really big. And you are already part of that cooperative component. And I just know that, you know, when people hear the idea that they can actually make a difference with a dollar, I hope it inspires them to open up their hearts and minds to what's possible if we work together. And it makes me think about,
Hmm.
all the celebrities that want to be a part of this. It makes me think about all the checks that we can write and present on video and excite and ignite the world with the money we're giving away. It makes me think about the education piece alone of every time somebody asks Gem a question. It makes me think about how to teach our kids how to make a difference when they feel like they can't. It's the ultimate lesson in humility, humanity, and social experiment.
Hmm.
And I
And
think there's no greater gift that I could give using AI today.
this is a really powerful AI you're talking about, though, because it's more than just like I can't even imagine yet what it can do when you're bridging all these different components of AI and as it evolves. I just know from my early experience using it that it's really a gift. I don't think it's a negative thing. You get that double-sided coin, right? It could be used for good or evil. But from what I've seen it can do, we can think faster, solve problems faster, and just advance and work together in ways that we wouldn't imagine on our own. I believe that's the gift of AI
I agree.
used properly.
Yeah, I agree. And I appreciate that there's governing bodies being put together to mitigate the risk. But I would encourage people like myself and people like you and anyone in the world with an idea is to work with AI to create good. It just starts with there. Like if you ask yourself, if this wasn't about the money, if this wasn't about myself, if this wasn't about making money from AI or being scared of AI, what could be? What could we each create? If each one of us thought of one task that we can own with AI, think of the benefit to the world. And I'm working with companies right now in my portfolio. I own a venture fund, and that venture fund is very heart centered. We invest in these tech companies doing innovative things, but in return, we give them ownership in our entire portfolio of tech companies, and we take equity in their company. And that's really important because it's a reciprocal relationship. We're not there to just say, good luck, here's a bit of cash, off you go. Don't burn the world down and come see us when you make us $1 billion. We're like, no, 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 no. We're here to help you. And we're going to give you a piece of our pie. So whether you win or fail, we win or fail together. And you're going to be just fine because we chose you and you chose us.
Hmm.
So I want people to start thinking about business in that way. And I know not everyone's going to be on board with the way that I want to do business. And that's okay. That doesn't make them wrong. That just makes them not aligned with where I think we should go or where I want to go. And I can tell you this, Travis, I have been making job offers, dream job offers to people, 22 people, in fact, over the last 2 weeks, to where I can pull them out of whatever reality they're in that may not be serving them and let them choose the role that they want to play in my venture fund. And that in itself, when you allow people to choose who they want to be and do the work that they want to do, they will delight and surprise you beyond your wildest dreams. And in fact, you'll have the most powerful team on the planet. And then, second to that, when you give them equity as well, when you don't have to, it changes their life. And third to that is these companies that I'm investing in deserve everything that I can give them because they're going to give me everything that they've got as well. And so I just want to lead by example.
Is
That's
it
the
is it
point.
like an accountability thing too, to when the companies are sharing equity in the sense that you're talking about, that you continue to work together
Yes.
rather than the old competitive nature of, well, I got to try and control as much as I
Yes.
can.
Totally. Totally. And imagine, let's pretend you come to me with your company and you're like, okay, Julia, let's work together. And I invest in you. And then I give you equity in my mothership, my venture fund, and all the assets. And then off we go and we do all these amazing things with my in house team. And let's say we fail or some version of fail.
Mhm.
It's okay. Most tech companies fail, but at least we tried. And
Right.
at least we have something else for you when you fall down. And you're going to still be a part of the collective. So it's okay. Go fail fast.
Right.
Go break shit. Go do the most bold, epic, crazy stuff you could ever dream. And we'll catch you with feathers when you fall.
I love ingenuity and creativity and entrepreneurship because it solves problems, right, in the world. And I think we live in a world and a time right now where mindset is so important. And that's the gift we can share with each other. When somebody gets successful, they turn around and they start sharing that inspiration and motivation and their success story with others, so that they too can experience something great in their life if they choose to pick up that baton and run with it. And that seems to be where we're at with what you're describing too. Fail fast. There's been a lot of technological advances. We live in this kind of confusing time with media, though, right, and governance and where we're at. But I continue to try and push positivity on everybody through the influence of Not TV and what we create, because it's so important to create that positive outlook for the future with all of our shared visions. What do we want for the future? What do we want for future generations? What do we want to see,
Yeah.
and what do we want to create and leave behind? So you're talking about legacy, and everything you're talking about is just beautiful. I just want people at home watching and listening to really embrace that positive mindset, to not look at the problems and get overwhelmed by them, but to look at
Yeah.
problems as an opportunity to move forward, because we can have new conversations like this.
Yeah. And my wish for each person listening to this video and this experience, this TV, is I want them to be inspired to think about what's that one thing that they love so much? What's their favorite thing in the world? Because when you work on your favorite thing and you align yourself with your highest self, your all knowing self, your self that creates worlds, that creates physical realities, you can get all the money in the world to support your dream. There are no limits. There's no such thing as scarcity. There's enough for all of us. You just have to come into alignment with your true essence, who you are. So I would want people to sit with that and go, what do I like to do? Don't worry about how you're going to make money at it. What do I like to do all day? And what would creating that look like? And wouldn't it be nice if thoughts? And what if I could do this and that? And, the contrast I'm experiencing today should lead to the clarity that I'm looking for tomorrow. So I would encourage everyone to just sit with themselves, be really brutally honest. If money was no object and you were to throw away your entire career that you're in right now, if it's not serving you, what would you do? Why would you do it? What does it look like? What does your dream day look like? How do you spend your day? And when you start asking those questions right before bed, I promise your subconscious will work on it overnight. And when you get up in the morning, you will have ideas throughout the day to lead you towards that path. You don't have to know how you're going to get there. You just have to want to. You just have to be happier for having it. And your only job is to love at the highest level and raise your vibration to be a vibrational match to everything that you've ever wanted. That's it. You're not a doer. You're not here to do. You're here to create. That's what you're here for, to love, to grow, to create. And the sooner you can find your, it's a Japanese term, ikigai. It's your essence of everything that you want to be. It's your definition of perfection for you. The happier we're all going to be, and the more abundant our world will be, and the bigger problems we solve.
Right. Right. And isn't it, I mean, just considering for a second, if everybody was doing what they felt called to do, what they resonated with, what allowed them to thrive and just make them happy, if everybody was in that space of being fulfilled, having a sense of purpose and being happy, where would the world be? I feel like we would be in this ultimate
Wait, wait.
harmony. And who knows what that would
I can
create.
tell you, yeah, I can tell you what that vibration feels like, because I feel like I'm in that very high vibration. And I feel like you can almost see through the eyes of spirit when you're on your path. And it feels like relentless energy. It feels like immense gratitude. It feels like you have so much purpose and not enough time. It feels like a genie in a bottle. You have a thought, it becomes a thing. It feels like there are no limits. And it feels like pure positive love that can make you cry and tear up at any point. That's how you know you're there. And you walk through the world as a different person than you were the day before, a more generous person. You see a homeless person, you see somebody hungry, you feed them. You go somewhere and you feel like you can make an impact, you give everyone in the room a gift. You are tired and you don't have anything left to give, but you still give more and wash the dishes for somebody or wash their feet. It doesn't matter what it is. You are now different. And by being different, you have more capacity to give to yourself and to others. So the sooner you can find your purpose and live that dream life, the greater impact you can give to the rest of the world. Your ripples are already happening. And that's where it can go. And I mean, sadly, this is the only sad part, I think, is if the billionaires of the world teamed up, or even just one billionaire, I'm not going to name names. I don't think it's a good idea to shame anybody. They could literally give millions of dollars to each human on the planet, and no one would ever suffer again. Now, it's not just about money. It can be shelter. Money comes responsibility. Most people who win the lottery actually end up going bankrupt shortly thereafter. I mean, there's risk. I'm not saying that they should give everybody millions of dollars, but I'm suggesting that they start to think about others in a greater capacity if they haven't already done so. Because it's not about us, and it's not about having billions to ourselves. And if I could be a leader in this space and be a future billionaire that can lead by example, how dare I not do anything else but that?
Right. And I've also heard what it's not about money, it's about what do you want to do with that money. It's like, what do I want, a swimming pool just full of bills that I can jump in? Like, it's what do I actually want to
Yeah,
create and do? That's more important than thinking, well, I just need lots of money. So what do we actually want to do and create and solve? Like, I just see a lot of, there's problems, but I don't see a problem as a negative. It's again an opportunity to be creative and to be human. And how can we solve this? And how can we have fun doing it? Because I think we can have a lot of fun on this in this world too, helping
that's
each
right.
other and
And the
solving
more,
problems.
totally, and the more we let kids solve the problems, the better.
I like that.
Kids have no limiting beliefs. They have no ideas on how it should be done. You should literally create a foundation. Like if I were to run off and go to do something else right now and you're like, Julia, what should I do? I mean, take the idea. I don't even care. Get a group of kids that join some sort of collective organization with their parents' permission. Use AI, use the kids' creativity, and allow them to solve the world's problems. Don't even leave it up to the adults.
Love it.
And they
Love it.
will solve all the greatest problems. It's like the X Prize for kids. And,
Mm.
Peter Diamandis was genius in allowing people to solve some of the world's biggest problems with an ultimate prize. And in my ed tech company, we have the X Prize for kids. So like I'm already running down this path, but it's like I don't need to be the only one doing it. Like let the kids create a school where all they do is solve problems in the real world. Who
Mm.
cares about math and memorization and things that don't matter that they're learning in school? Let them learn through AI. Let them learn things that are important. Let them use their skills and let them use their brilliance to change the world. They'll solve everything
Mm.
and they'll do it faster than we ever could.
As we move forward in the direction of this beautiful vision and the future of the great unknown, but in a way that brings peace and harmony, because it's a real possibility. But we got to see it as such. How how much of a challenge do you think it is to let go of the old mindset, the idea of like, do we have to unlearn a whole bunch of things about how the world works? We're not really taught in school. We're not really taught entrepreneurship. We're really not taught how things work, and yet we all have an opportunity to learn and grow in this world, but we're not all really given that fair starting point in our schools or in our families. We're not really shown what's possible when it comes to manifesting and creating and learning and
Yeah.
teaching and
Yeah. So I love that question because we're not wrong for having done it in a way that isn't serving us anymore. But the future that I think should be created, no matter what age you are, is what I call my 5 success factors. Okay, these are like the 5 things that you can't live without in a world run by robots and computers. Okay, that's adaptability, emotional intelligence, problem solving, collaboration, and creativity. We need these skills no matter what education you have, or lack of education, or alternative education, or we throw out the whole school system and start again. Without those 5 success factors, you're in trouble. So I'm not asking you to unlearn anything. I'm asking you to be aware of those 5 success factors and shape your children's future on those 5 success factors and shape your future on those 5 success factors. If you are not growing in those areas, doesn't matter your education, doesn't matter how amazing AI is, doesn't matter if your job gets taken over, you're not going to thrive. And that's why I built Prodigy during COVID for kids, because that was so vital to their future success. Their schools were shut down. And I'm going to say schools may not have even been serving them anyway. I know that there's great institutions out there, but I'm going to say the majority of the school system is broken, and I'm going to die on that hill. And Elon will agree with me, and Elon's brilliant than most of us. Elon created his own school, Ad Astra, because he knew it was broken. And there's other companies out there already creating schools that parents just pay a teacher and educators and guest speakers to come in and teach their kids, and they allow their kids to learn in their own way. Those kids are the future. Those are the kids I want running our world. And the kids that got trapped in the school system and were told, if you go to university, we have a job for you. Travis, maybe that was true when you and I graduated university. But after 2005, I would even say boldly 2008, a degree didn't get you anywhere unless you're like a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant or something that needed specifics in your education. good luck, because we didn't have jobs for those kids and those graduates, and it's getting worse. And
Mm-hmm.
inflation is taking over. The world will forever be different.
Hmm.
And it's a
Yeah.
brave new world, Travis. It's a brave new world. And you need to find other ways to succeed in it.
Right. Move forward. Be in the change. I like those five factors that you said too. Like even being creative and collaborating. Like those
Yeah.
are really important to
Yeah.
to start seeing things differently instead of feeling trapped or continuing to fight against something. Well, that thing that you're fighting against might just be going by the wayside. And so it's energy that you don't need to be spending on this fight. You
That's
could be
right.
spending it creating or doing something different. I mean, it comes with an emotional process that probably goes back to emotional intelligence. And I mean, it all goes together, doesn't it? We got to be
Yeah.
adaptable. I forgot the fifth thing.
Yeah. That's right. So adaptability, emotional intelligence, problem solving,
Problem
creativity, and
solving.
collaboration.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the sooner you can be that. Oh, and I would say like the last thing, and it's not on my list, but let's put it on my list. If you're like the one person in everyone's life that never breaks your commitments,
Hmm.
if you're that person, I promise you, you will be at the top of the food chain. You will have whatever you want because people will respect you, because you respect yourself and you respect
Hmm.
others and you do not break your commitments. Now, if you're ill or something really big happens, you renegotiate with the person, but you do not
Hmm.
break your commitment. And if you're that person, you're going to be the one person everyone relies on and trusts and respects in this world. So
And
just
that's
be that person.
integrity, right? So we can all be
Yeah.
working towards having more integrity,
Yeah.
more value, having good values, knowing ourselves, and what do we
Yep.
want to contribute to the
Yeah.
community. Our communities will change just
Yeah.
as we contribute to it. I love that. That was inspirational. I'm grateful I got to hear that from you today about yeah,
I'll be
honoring
here
your
all day.
commitments.
Okay. Like whatever you need. Let's just mic me up and put me on a show.
Sounds good. Let's do it. Lead
We
us
might
through
already be doing.
your vision. Yeah, I mean, it seems to be, let's talk about media for a second, because there's a lot of, I'm starting to see the stories just repeating the same challenges. We're looking at the old quite a bit. And at Not TV, we're talking a lot about high vibrating content and looking at community and how do we bring community storytelling back and things that matter. But, we've talked about watching less. Like, let's try and watch less content, which seems backwards or counter to, if we're going to have a media platform, you think you'd want people watching more. But get out into your community, get out with your family and your friends and live life and enjoy life and live. Isn't that what we're here to do? Like, what's your take on where media is now, and is it a problem or does it need to change, or we just keep creating and then people are free to live their life? At least we give them choice.
You're asking me a question that's quite sensitive for me. If anyone knows me, they know that I was absolutely abused up one side and down the other by the media in October of 2015, all the way into, summer of 2016. My tech company went global and viral, and that led to death threats, and that led to fake news, and that led to harm for myself and no one else. No one else was affected in this negative rampage that the media used to get clicks and make money. And when I remove my ego out of what happened and take responsibility for my part in it, shocking and wowing the world with a disruptive concept, I have no regrets. I didn't do anything wrong. But the media definitely took advantage of my story and used it to create fear and chaos and clickbait. Um, and so my issue with the media isn't a normal issue. It I will never be innocent in the way that I see the media again. And I feel like If media is going to do what it's supposed to do, we need more platforms like yourself where there is accountability to what you say and what you put out there. There is no bias whatsoever. You let me be me, and you don't criticize me for being me, and you put out me into the world exactly as I said it. And what I learned with the loss of control of the media during that time in my life is I have to understand that it wasn't personal to me. It wasn't necessarily an attack on me because I'm just me doing good things in the world. And anyone that knew me knew that I was a good person doing good things. It was to prevent me from bringing to light all the darkness through my application. I was about to expose the Jeffrey Epsteins of the world. I was about to expose the dark underbelly of all the shady business that goes on. I was about to expose men and women that probably should be in jail and not held accountable by the courts. I was about to expose things that I can't even wrap my head around now. But I only realized that when I look back. That was never my intention. My intention was a reputation platform where you can port your reputation everywhere you go so that you can get more of what you want in this world and bridge the gap on trust. But in the end, I freaked everybody out because I was so much bigger than that. And they tried everything they could to take me down. And that's what media should never do. I don't care who I am and what I'm doing. No one deserves that. I'm not harming people in what I'm doing. And if I am, hold me accountable. But in the end, they were the ones harming. And that's devastating. So if you ask me what I think of media and where we need to go, I'm going to tell you people stop watching low vibration stuff. Stop watching the news. Stop scrolling through social media because it's not real. Unless you're learning something, stop looking at it. Go read books. Go talk to people. Go interview people that are doing things that you want to do. Go play. Go create. Put your phone away. Turn your phone off. Break your phone. Throw it out. I don't care. But stop being addicted to the things that are no longer serving you because it will rob you of everything that you can become. So media is the problem, but your participation in the low vibration of media is what's causing the circular effect of us all losing. So until there's more Travis Crosses and not TVs and alternative news that bring light to the world, we will always be stuck in this fear-based bullshit that doesn't serve us and only takes us down. And frankly, I am bold enough to say out loud, the elites want you to be held down. They don't want you reading books and reaching your highest potential. They want you numb. They want you addicted to social media, addicted to alcohol, addicted to your bad habits, addicted to junk food, addicted to poison. They want you down so they can own it all and control you. So stop participating in it. Say no. Start looking beyond what is. Start asking tough questions. And you will see that you are part of something you want nothing to do with. But every day you play a part in the game. So I'm very passionate, obviously, about this. And until people can stop perpetuating the low vibration of it all, I dare you to stop watching Netflix unless it's documentaries. I dare you to stop reading the newspaper. I dare you to stop consuming low vibration media. Stop watching people get murdered on TV even for entertainment. Stop drinking alcohol, stop drinking coffee. Just stop and get to a higher vibration. And if anyone wants to get to a higher vibration, contact me. Like, I've literally got steps to like elevate you that won't cost you anything. I don't want anything from you. I just want you to stop doing what isn't serving you. So I don't know if that answers your question around media, but like, holy shit, like, just stop. Stop paying them the money. Stop participating. Stop watching their ads. Just stop.
Yeah, wow. Because we don't going through a journey with all of that too. It's challenging, but the reward is absolutely incredible, and there's other people doing it, so we can find inspiration from each other. And like our bodies are meant to heal, and it just gets into a healing state instead of this low energy. I didn't know what it was like to have an abundance of energy until I had it. Like, I was looking for caffeine and
Yeah.
sugar and things to like try and boost my energy or keep me at
Yeah.
some sort of normal, but I didn't know what was on the other side of all of that until I experienced it. Now it's
Yeah.
like if everybody could have that, you just want that for everybody, right? But we all have to make our own decisions and
Yeah.
move
Like
forward in our
I'm
own way.
working 23 hour days.
That's
Like
impossible,
with
Julia. Come
endless.
on.
Oh, sure it is. If you're in the wrong vibration, it's impossible. But, it's like, oh, of course it's not sustainable forever, but I can do it for like a month or two and then sleep for a month. Like I could do a year's worth of work in a month. And I'm not saying I recommend that, but when you're in your highest alignment, you have endless energy and you don't want distractions and you want to chase that high. And I would say, like, I used to not understand Elon when I did a tour of his factory when he had it in California, like his Tesla factory. And you have to sign an NDA. And so there's not much I can say. I respect NDAs. But there's a story about Elon that is public where when he was developing the Tesla, the first model, he slept at the end of the production line. He was on the floor sleeping because he was working 23-hour days, 20, as many hours as he could. He wanted to create something and he had a commitment to himself and to his team. And when I heard that story the first time, it was when I had just launched my tech company, People. And I was kind of like, that's a bit extreme. I've worked a lot of hours, but that's a bit extreme. I don't understand that. Until you're there with so much conviction that sleep doesn't matter, you will never understand Elon sleeping at the end of the production line to make his dream come true. You won't understand. And I'm grateful that today I could even understand or sort of fractionally understand a small piece of a brilliant mind. Like, how lucky am I that I can say, Elon, I I get you a little bit. Like, you inspire me and I get
Hmm.
you because I'm not
Hmm.
sleeping either.
I want to add to that actually, because my grandfather would tell a story. He was in World War II. He was up in the Aleutian Islands, which is off the coast of Alaska, with the Canadian Air Force, and they had to assemble engines for these planes that had arrived. And he was 19, 20 years old, and they were putting these engines together, working 36-hour shifts, 8 hours off. So to have like 36 hours, but it was for a purpose. Like they're fighting for our freedom, and they put everything into it, and it was just what you had to do. So it was a whole different time back then, right? Different caliber of people sometimes, I think, to be able to step up and do just
Yeah,
what needs to be done. But it's very inspiring, and it's possible too.
yeah, totally. And my team, they weren't sleeping either. I had this like magnificent team from around the world from December 11th, no, December 10th till January 1st. They didn't sleep either. We were in it together. and they created history. I was just the person that kept asking them to keep going. I was just the person that was like, you're creating history, just keep going. I know you're tired. I haven't slept in 3 days either, but just keep going because it's going to be worth it. When you have that level of conviction with your team, you create worlds that never existed.
That's what it takes sometimes, right? To come together and just to persevere and to push forward and put in, like, there's something amazing about collaborations too, and what we can create together when we're all putting our energy into a shared goal. And I've experienced that in film and television as well. We try and get into this point of convergence. One cinematographer, he would always call it, we got to converge. It was the moment when we would actually say action. Everything was ready to go. And we all had to converge at that single moment where the lighting was good, the makeup was good, everybody was in place, cast and crew, and we were ready to go. And then you could yell action. But if one thing was out of place, we'd all kind of take a break, and then everybody's off trying to, fix little things and get ready again for that one moment that we wanted to converge to take action.
Nice.
And it's a
Nice.
pretty magical moment when it happens.
I gotta say, like, selfishly, I think I have a project for you within my venture fund. So just know that I'm gonna hunt you down after this and proposition you. And I hope you say yes, no pressure, but I hope you follow your heart and say yes, because I do feel you're the right person to help me. And it'll involve all of your great skills and all of your mastery to then maybe get part of more of your legacy.
I appreciate that, Julia. Anything that can help inspire people. I set my, and I encourage others to do this, to know your own values and to make decisions based on what aligns with those values. So for a while,
That's
I've been
right.
trying to find
Filter,
projects and
filter
people to,
everything
yeah, right. So if it's a
through your
positive and
values.
inspiring,
Through your values.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah.
then
Filter. Yeah.
it's not just chasing money, right? Because it's, well, why? There's Simon Sinek, right? Start with why. That really gave me some
That's
insight
right.
into
Totally.
what can we do
Yeah.
that's
Start
deeper.
with why. Start with why. And is this the right vessel to carry you through?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the desire to continue when things get really, really hard?
Right.
Like, even in the last 10 days, I had to work for 3 days, 4 days straight, through the night, through Christmas night, hiring people, firing people through the night, and almost to the point where I was like, I can't pull this off.
Mm.
I'm going to miss my deadline of Christmas launch, and I'm tired, and I don't know if I can do this anymore.
Mm.
But then I took a minute and I refocused, and I was like, get some food you haven't eaten in a day. Like, just order some food, just take a deep breath. It's not personal. Everyone's doing their best. And try one more time. And I got to tell you, Travis, that one more time ended up in the guy that solved our problem, that almost tanked our company. Just that
Wow.
one more time when I had nothing left. Mr. Dang from Vietnam. Like, what a superhero name. Mr. Dang from Vietnam, with two twin girls that are 1 years old, who he would do anything for. So when I found him, he was ready.
Mm.
Yeah.
There are miracles. Like, that's such a big part of the future that we're stepping into. I just feel like I can't say that enough for anybody that's watching media and watching anything like this interview. Just to stay hopeful, to stay positive, to know that, like, we can't even fathom. Do you remember that there's an old video, this is years ago, and it was Did You Know? And then they came out with another one, Did You Know 2.0? And one, it was statistics, so music and these facts, just words on the screen. And one of them was, as we go into the future, when you start college or university, by the time you're halfway through or by the time you're done, what you learned will be obsolete. Like the jobs that when you start school, the job that you're
Yeah.
going to come out and get hasn't even been invented
Yeah.
yet by the time you started school. Like we're
Yep.
moving so
Yep.
fast and rapidly. It was very inspiring. This is at least a decade, probably more ago. And here we are, and it's happening. Like things are moving so quickly forward that we can't fathom what's next, what's going to happen next week, let alone tomorrow. So you never know who's going to show up,
Travis,
right?
that's right. And Travis, let's talk about hope.
Mm.
This is probably the most important thing we're going to talk about today. Regardless of what I've created, regardless of what you've created, hope is the one thread that keeps humans alive. When you lose hope, that's when you decide to no longer be here. And that doesn't make you wrong if you decide not to be here. I'm not encouraging it, but I'm just saying when there's hope lost, we lose our fellow humans. We lose them to drugs. We lose them to suicide. We lose them to depression. We lose them to mental illness. We lose them to living a smaller life than we knew that they were capable of. So if you ask me, what's the point of Ask Gem? It's to ensure hope at all levels for everyone involved and everyone it ever affects. And I was inspired to build this company based on the loss of hope. And what I mean by that is in early September, September 11th, my stepfather committed suicide. He lost hope. And there's nothing I can do about that. But what I can do is I can build something that ensures that no one else loses hope. If I can help, I will. And in him committing suicide, I almost lost my mother as well. So, Ask Gem is dedicated to my parents. One that's still trying to survive and hold on to hope, and one that's gone, but will forever live through me and with me through this project.
I'm sorry for your loss, and thank you for sharing that. That's quite the mission. Keep hope, keep hope alive, keep hope going for everybody that hasn't made it, or yeah, I mean, we all lose
Like,
people.
it's gonna
That's
be okay. You
mm-hmm.
know, it's gonna be okay. I know things are hard for everybody right now. Everybody. Everyone has a struggle you know nothing about. But it's our job to not lose hope and to help them not lose hope.
That's right. Don't give up. Don't give up, and we keep moving forward. And I think of the kids a lot. I got friends with 5-year-old, 3-year-old, 1-year-old, and it fills me with this sense of purpose to keep moving forward, because even as we lose those around us and we're still here, and sometimes, I find myself asking the question, well, why am I still here? Like what do we do? What do we do with all of this? And it's life. There's ups and downs, but to keep going, to keep getting out of bed, to have a sense of purpose, and for it to be more than just any one of us individually, that we're doing this for the people that came before us, the people that aren't still here, the people yet to come, and then the kids that are rising up because the world's theirs. We're just, what did I hear again? That we don't we borrow the future from our children, right?
Yeah.
It's the
And
world we leave behind.
I can't imagine the world that they're entering. But my hope and what I can see, if you're like thinking like a futurist might think, is the sooner that we stop having to do the things that don't serve us, doing the jobs that don't serve us, doing the tasks that don't serve us, the things that don't allow us to create or operate from our highest selves,
Mm-hmm.
the sooner we get to that place, the sooner all of us are free. We're free, we're abundant, we're free of time. We have the freedom of time and money and energy, and we just get to be happy and therefore love everyone else better. I know we're going to get there. Like, there will be a generation in the near future, maybe even 10 years from now, that don't have to suffer because we allowed the computers to help and the humans to do what they really want to do and the monosystems to break. It's all going to be, it's just going to be really hard to get there.
It'll be messy too. But
It's going to
change
be really
is,
messy.
yeah.
And the
If,
sooner you can let go of your ego and
mm,
let go of assets that don't mean anything and let go of stuff that doesn't serve you and be more agile and be more light and use your time and energy to give, the faster you will get there, regardless of what's happening in the world. You can create your own reality of that abundant world. You don't have to live in this reality. I don't live in this reality. I choose not to. I don't have conversations that upset me. I don't get upset about things that don't work for me. I don't hang out with people that aren't doing things that inspire me. I don't go to places that don't blow my mind unless I need to help bring up the vibration. So, how lucky am I that I get to live in a different reality because my thoughts create my reality and I won't tolerate any other reality. And the sooner we'll use the laws of the universe to get what they want, the sooner we will all get what we want, and the sooner we will have that world that we all deserve. But you don't have to wait for everyone to get there with you. Go there now. We're already doing it. There's already people like you and like me and all these other light workers in the world. We're already on our way with or without you. So just come with us. We'll show you. We'll hold your hand. We'll take you with us. We got this. Don't be afraid. Start questioning everything.
what a way to begin 2024. I got to tell you, the whole exit and build, that there's something that's coming. People are working on amazing projects like Julia here. Like it, we have no idea, right? But following something greater than ourselves that connects us all together. That's part of it. And I think it's beautiful. If we, I like what you said, drop the ego, because I can't possibly know all the pieces. I don't think it's the old way. I'm going to draw on a whiteboard. You guys all follow me. And it's, no, it's, there's something greater putting all these pieces together. And we've all got a piece and a part to play in the vision for our collective future. So I love it. And I just want to ask you if there's anything that we didn't talk about that you do want to cover. And then I'll ask you your final thoughts for this conversation.
You know, I always believe that everything is exactly as it should be. I can't think of anything more that I would want to get noticed or to be understood, except for maybe go read a book that I have in mind, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's The Essential Law of Attraction Collection by Esther and Jerry Hicks, also known as the collective consciousness called Abraham. If you read that book, I will warn you now, you will never be able to undo what you're about to see and hear and understand from that book. But the beauty of that is your life will never be the same, and it will be the best journey of your life moving forward. It'll be worth it.
Awesome.
So you can get that on Amazon. I highly recommend it. It's a bit repetitive, but you get through it. And there's going to be pages that you don't resonate with. There's going to be pages with that you absolutely resonate with, that you feel were written just for you. So I would recommend to do that, is read that book.
That's great. That's an awesome alternative to TikTok, you guys, and Instagram, and it's just getting more and more. It sucked me in over the last few days, the social media, like YouTube Shorts, now Facebook
It
clips, and it's all.
does.
I'm
It's
like, oh
so
my god.
addictive. It's so addictive. And it's
Hmm.
made to be addictive. They want you to be addicted to it. And did you know China, their version of TikTok is actually educational? They have a completely
Right.
different algorithm
Yeah.
than us. They want
Interesting.
that. Of course, they want that.
Yeah.
So just find the higher vibration. It's okay to watch YouTube shorts. It's okay to watch Instagram and all those other things if it's educating you
Hmm.
at a high vibration, not
Yeah.
scaring you, not upsetting you. Like, you get it. It's very addictive.
Yeah. We could program ourselves. We choose what you put into your
Yes.
mind. So pick up a book like,
Perfect example.
yeah, yeah, like the. I didn't write down the
Perfect
title, but
example.
I'll put the book on screen here.
Yeah, I'll get it for you.
Thanks, Julia. And what are your final thoughts? This has been an amazing conversation. I'm so grateful to get to talk to you about what you've been working on. I've been super curious about what you've been working on, and now I'm really excited to
Yeah.
see what will come out of it. Like what, you know,
Oh, thank
how
you.
people can help the world through these charities and what Ask Gem will create
Yeah.
with us into the future.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I'm anything else you want to add and what are your final thoughts for today?
If you don't think that you can make a difference, try sleeping in the same room with a mosquito. So please take your dollar, go to AskGem.ai, and make a difference with your dollar. You be the mosquito. That's it. Just be the mosquito.
Make a difference. One person to change a few to change many, and many to change the world. Is that
Yeah.
Margaret Mead?
And the Dalai Lama said that about the mosquito. That's not me. Let's give him the cred he deserves.
That's awesome. Yeah. And my final thought here, I wasn't going to mention this. There's a song in the background while you were talking there, and it was the same song in a movie about Nikola Tesla, where
It was?
I don't remember the actor's name. He was playing Nikola Tesla, and he had this
I love
montage of him singing
that.
the song, but that song came on in the background. It made me think of
I
that right
love
away. Like,
that.
this
How
is very
perfect
divine.
that.
Yeah.
That is so perfect. I love that. Nikola Tesla is like a hero of mine. How beautiful is that?
Yeah.
We can
So
thank
that,
him for that.
yeah. Yeah. This is great.
So if you need anything at
Amazing.
all, anybody listening, if you need something, you can contact me through LinkedIn. You can contact me through AskGem.ai. We have a contact form. Um, you can contact me through juliacordray.com. I mean, just find me and I'll do my best for you. It's going to take me a while to get back to you. And if I can help you, I will. If I can't, please forgive my silence. I'm just the wrong person, but keep finding the right people.
And don't give up. Yeah.
So that's, yeah, don't give up.
Cool.
I'm just
Have a
one person.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for everything. Really enjoyed it.